Hey everyone, how you doing today? Mary Ellen Vanaken, and I have a treat for you today. We are going inside the world of real estate, and today we have Jeannine and Miguel Garcia, and they are from the DC metro area. So this is all about them and all about their area. So I'm just going to dig in and start asking you some questions, and you guys just go with it. So welcome. And what is your background, like family, schooling, growing up?
So the first thing I'm going to do is turn off my phone because
there you go. This is all really, about the flow, how really it goes, and we want.
We're waiting for an offer to get on a response, so that's why. But anyway, let's go ahead and start. Miguel can start.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. First of all,
yes.
Thank you. This is a great opportunity to have a conversation about the area that we live. We came to the States in 1989.
Nice.
With $500 in a suitcase, right?
I love it. What a great story.
We came from Peru with 3 kids. From the beginning, we grew up in Northern Virginia and never moved from Northern Virginia.
We love it here.
This is the paradise for us.
Yes.
All right. We live super close to DC, and that is where we call this area DC metro area, because it's DC, the national capital, Northern Virginia, where we live, and another area that DC that have a lot of influence is Southern Maryland too.
So now my turn, okay?
Your turn.
Because he takes the mic. So as Miguel said, originally from Peru, we've been married for 47 years. Met in Peru when I was in high school, he was in college. I was 16, he was 20. And we've been together since. Next year, it's going to be our 50th year together.
Wow.
We've learned that family was the most important thing for us, and always being together. Miguel's background, he's an industrial, he's very humble. So he's an industrial engineer in our country and has a master's degree as well. And I was horrible in school. I barely graduated, and I got married immediately, so I didn't know how to do anything. So that's my background.
There you go. Didn't know how to do anything. All right. So then we'll get into this next question. What really made you get into real estate, and how long have you been in real estate?
Ooh, that's his question. He loves that.
Well,
okay. Go ahead, Miguel.
Right. 1998. We start, after living almost 10 years in the States, we decided to explore the idea of buying our first house.
Okay.
So we were in contact with
a few agents.
And
we barely spoke the language, so we couldn't understand what they were saying.
Right. So we end up choosing an Hispanic agent. Right.
Nice.
So we started the process. Was just, for us, was incredible that you can knock the door of the bank and ask for money and they lend you money. Easy as, because in our country it's almost impossible to do it. So it was a really good experience.
We were so happy, right? We went to we were under contract, and I'm Catholic. We are Catholic, so I picked a retreat that we could go in and pray for the entire weekend, so that we weren't going asking God to help us buy this house, because we didn't know anything about it.
I love it, because I'm Catholic too, and I love how you're sitting there doing the rosary beads, just praying.
Oh my gosh, it was an entire weekend. It was, and we were writing letters and everything. Please, God, help us, because we didn't know anything about it. We just wrote a contract, and then what's going to happen? And that was it. That was the end of the story. They said, "Oh, here are the keys. You have to sign here."
And you're like, okay. But you know what? I think that what you saw is you saw a need that you didn't know the language. And you're like, you don't want anyone to have that experience.
Exactly.
So you got into real estate, which
and
I
that's
love.
why we got.
I love.
Yeah.
And what I love about you two is you guys are so personable and you like really take care of your clients, like high level executive, high level luxury.
Oh.
Every client gets an amazing experience with you. And that's what I really love about you guys so much. And you're such givers, really.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
all right.
Thank
So
you.
there we go. So that's how you got into real estate.
Right.
And let's just kind of touch again about the areas that you deal with and how many different licenses do you have to have for the places that you cover?
Okay. Well,
And is it different? Wait, and Miguel, is it different in each state?
Yeah.
Yes. So the idea is that since we are super close to DC national capital, the influence of the capital is humongous, right?
Right.
So Northern Virginia and Southern Maryland, Moses, are like a big city.
Uh-huh.
So when you are in Northern Virginia, always think about DC or Southern Maryland. So clients wants to go around. So that is
Right.
why I say, okay, I guess we need to have, the ability to do business in the 3 different areas.
And since he was the one that was a good student, well, guess who had this 3 licenses?
I love it. So you have the 3 licenses. Okay. So it's Maryland, DC, and Virginia, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have Virginia, by the way.
Yes. And how different are the contracts and transactions, like the flow of it between those 3 cities?
It's a day and night. Oil and water is completely different. Really, really is. In Virginia, we're very simple. Our contract is only 13 pages. That's it.
Oh,
And
really? Okay.
Yeah, it's very simple. And in Maryland, depends on the county. Each county have their own paperwork. It's very, very complicated.
And DC, the same.
DC is the same, yes.
Good. Okay. Well, you know what? I think you're one of the first people I met that have a license in 3 different states. Or areas. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
And he's pushing me to have the DC, and actually, I have my test next month. So,
good, fantastic. And I know this time of year is so beautiful in DC with the cherry blossoms. I just love the cherry blossoms. So let's get into. Tell us about your city and what kind of properties do you sell? Let's get into that.
So our office is in Tyson's Corner.
Okay.
And we live in Burke, and we lived in Burke for 35 years. And you can call us like the wannabe DCs because we're not there, but we want to be there.
Got it. Okay.
But we feel that we're part of them. So what kind of properties do we sell? There's a range. We do we have clients and that's how Miguel started helping the Latino community when they had no information in hand. So we still have that huge core and it's it's the base of our business. We grew up into listings and luxury afterwards. So
Sure.
we serve from $400,000 condos to $700,000 townhouses, from $800,000 to $1 million single family homes, and from $1 million to which was one of my biggest sales, $6 million. So we have a range, and when we got the luxury designation, for me, I was already in luxury, just because I felt that by a client picking me, I had to offer them luxury service, no matter the price.
Right. And the surprise and delight. And that's what I love about you guys, because you are just so like your clients become your friends and your family. And I just love that. And I love that you deal with your friends' kids, right? The first time home buyers, yet you give them the same service as you do as luxury agent. And I just love that about you guys.
Yes.
You just really dig into that.
So the interesting thing, and I'm sorry to interrupt, the interesting thing is that our kids are in their 40s, okay? So our
No
oldest
way,
son-
you guys are too young.
oh, so our kids started buying their first homes maybe 10 years ago or
Right.
7 years ago. And now they are selling their townhouse and finding their single family home. And that's where we come in. We're helping them because they have very complicated schedules. They have a lot going on with the children. And for us to offer them a solution is to buy first and then sell, because
Yeah.
it's really about giving them first to find the right home and make sure that we win all these offers in this very competitive market. But then after that the house looks like a movie star or a showroom, so that it can sell for more than the asking price.
Right. And I think it's good if you have clients that can buy first, then list. It's great because you have them buy the property and then they get a lot of the stuff out and you stage it really nicely, and then they end up selling the property for more. So
Yes.
so that's a great strategy when it comes to that. And that's really, really great strategy. So you told us about the average price point. You told us about the type of homes you sell. What are like the most desirable neighborhoods that you see in your area that people are moving to?
Well,
I think that depends of your lifestyle.
Okay.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about that. So if you're like, let's take different lifestyles and say kind of where they end up being. So let's say you've got a young professional, double income, no kids yet. Where are they buying right now? What's hot?
They will go to DC,
Yes.
city where they can walk, drive a bike, don't worry about anything more than work and go out in the
in
afternoons.
Arlington.
Arlington,
Yes.
North
Yeah.
Arlington is the same. Okay. In Arlington, you see that, and also young families that have kids, but they have to go close to the DC because they don't want to drive much.
That's where they're working. Okay.
Right.
So when you have, say you outgrow, like you have 2 kids and you're starting to outgrow your place down in DC, where are they going to next?
So when they want to buy a bigger home, the first thought is Arlington.
Okay.
And because it's they have a bracket. Okay, they have a bracket, and I'm not going to define the bracket, but they have a bracket, and so when they sell, they for what they want, they most likely have to move to Fairfax. Fairfax, meaning Falls Church. It could be Reston. It could be even Great Falls. Sometimes you can find. I know many people have the idea that Great Falls is only in the 5 millions and above. Well, guess what? It's not. You can find a gem or a diamond in the rough, what I call, for in the 1.5 or 1.7,
Nice.
and then fix it and make it your forever home. And that's what this generation are looking for.
Okay. So what about the people that they're empty nesters? Are they going back to DC? Where are they going? Where are the empty nesters going in your area?
So do I answer or you go?
You go.
You can answer.
Okay. So, because, I'm always a talker. So the poor guy doesn't get a chance. So I have to ask. When the people our age, they live in the suburbs in Fairfax County, for instance, or Montgomery County.
Okay.
And they had these big colonial homes,
Okay.
and 5 bedrooms and everything when the kids were going to high school.
Right.
And then with the hopes that they were going to come back one day, they stayed put until they graduated from college.
Right.
And then they really come back at first. So don't sell your house right now if you're
No, because they got to save money so they can buy
Yes.
a house,
So
right?
they
So
do
they
come
come in
back.
with mom and dad for a while. I get
Yes,
it.
they
I
do
get
come
it.
back for a little bit, and that's when you can help them out. And then they will be perfectly fine when they find the right job, and they're going to be. There's never a right job. You can always look for something better. But they will like to be in Arlington in a small apartment or a condo. So that's the right time to sell. So Fairfax Station and all these mega homes, where are they going? That's a great question. They're going to Old Town Alexandria.
Okay.
Old Town Alexandria is a beautiful area. They're going to Del Rey, all in Alexandria. They're going to DC. Some of them are going to DC, and then they are still expecting a lot of space because they have they accumulate a lot of clothing,
right?
And,
yes.
And the closets are not big enough. So then they turn around and they look for either North Arlington, one level, which is not very common, or the Alexandria, which is very common.
So, and then most of them stay, especially if they have kids and grandkids, right? So they're staying, but they're getting like a second home somewhere else. So what about any empty nesters that you work with? Where are they going if they're doing a second home? Are they going to Florida? Are they going to California? Where are they going?
Yeah. Most of the empty nesters in this area go to Florida, more
Florida,
than California. Yes.
Yeah, so that's
Some
a good.
of them are going to North Carolina or South Carolina, a lot,
yes.
a lot, and they're building homes.
Nice. Yeah. Because, you in North Carolina, South Carolina, you have the beach, but you also have the mountains. So people are doing both ways. So I love that. So like great feeder markets are North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida for you, because that's where the empty nesters are going. So you're taking people, because you've been in the business so long, from the time they bought their first home to the time that they're empty nesters, and maybe they just keep a little condo in DC and then they have another home somewhere else. So you're taking them through pretty much the whole process of buying a home from the time they were.
Absolutely. And a lot of them are looking for a rambler at one level.
Yes.
Because they're used to having the lawn and it's beautiful here. And it's kind of exercising. So the first thing they do is they sell the mega colonial house. They find this one level, and then they also find something else as a second home.
Great. So my next question has to do with what's the biggest draw to people coming to the DC area? Like, why are people relocating? Is it because of jobs, lifestyle? Let's dig into that.
Well, first of all, I think we need to realize that we are the political head of the
center of the whole United States. Right. Yes, we know that.
Every 2 years we have new people in the Congress, right?
Right. Whether they like it or not.
Right. So they came with their own team, right? So every 2 years we have that. Every 4, the general election. After the government, we have the military. We have the Pentagon here.
Right.
We have Fort Belvoir, Basin.
And Andrews, Fort Myer, Quantico.
So the whole military
FBI, CIA
is here.
Right. Okay? So you have a lot of relocation.
A lot of going on,
yes.
Right? And after that, you have in this area, only in Northern Virginia, we have, I think it's 45 big countries from the 500 in here.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
A lot of tech companies. We have now Amazon too. So it's the government, the military, the private sector, and the ones that like us.
Yeah, you're answering all my questions. I love it.
And embassies, right?
Embassies.
We have embassies, and
they only stay for what, a period of 4 years or
4 years or so.
Yeah, well, I guess depending on the government, right?
Yes.
Some of them may stay 20 years.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
But sometimes they have to relocate to somewhere else, and the ambassadors might have to go to another country or something like that.
Exactly.
So there's always people coming in and out.
And then the ambassador is not just I mean, it's only one person, right? But they have a huge team, and they all have to stay
With them.
around the DC metro area. So that makes it very, very appealing for them.
Yes, perfect. So what's like the biggest challenge that people face in your city?
I think
Traffic? Oh, I'm just kidding.
I think one of the biggest challenges that we're seeing these days is a very competitive in regards to real estate. Okay.
Yes.
In regards to real estate, I think it's a very competitive area. So prices, I mean, it's high. It's high.
Right.
Also, it's it's an area that everything is expensive here. So you
Sure.
have to make a decent amount of money to survive. And and it's not easy when you're starting. It's definitely not easy.
That's why a lot of people come home and stay with their mom and dad and save their money, right? So, taxes, real estate taxes are probably pretty high, and the cost of living, but you're paying to live in a great city, right? So that's the positive of that. But I totally understand that. We've already talked about all the industries, which I love. But what's some of the most popular activities and hobbies that people do in your area?
Well, in regard to sports, he can vouch for that. All the
sports, lots of sports in DC.
Lot of sports, right? So in DC metro area, we have a football team.
Yes.
And then we have a soccer team.
Yes. Which is football. Which is football in Europe. Yeah, go ahead.
We have a baseball, basketball, everything in here.
Any sport you can imagine. Now, I know that a big draw to DC is all the museums and theater and everything like that. So tell me just a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So the beauty of this area is that it has everything for everybody. So whether you like sports or you like performing arts or whether you like to go to museums, you have it, and everything is so close. Starting with the Smithsonian, everything is free, and you can have a picnic and go there to the mall. It's called the mall. So and have a picnic outdoors, and then visit one of the museums, and it's free. So that's the beauty of this. And then also in regards to performing arts, we have the Kennedy Center, a world renowned place for performing arts, and we have Wolf Trap in Northern Virginia. So you can, I mean, if you like classical music, if you like ballet, anywhere, every day you can find something here.
I love it because that's like DC. It has all the music, it has all the theaters, it has the museums, it has the sports teams. It has something for everybody. Tell me about the food scene though. Like, tell me about the restaurants. Like, you got a lot of trendy restaurants. Let's give us a little bit of that.
It's crazy around here since we have a lot of embassies and people visit our city. You have food from all over the world. Wherever if you want to try, Russian food, there is a restaurant for Russian.
Exactly. And that's what I really love, that DC has all that culture. I mean, we have that here too in Atlanta, but what I see is you go there and you feel at home. If you're like, I mean, you guys were foreigners. I mean, like you said, you came over with $500 in a suitcase and 3 kids, right? Yeah. And like, you made this your home and you have not left because you find the culture within your community too, as well.
And on top of the food and everything that this area offers, people are incredibly open-minded to different cultures. So the diversity, it nurtures the community here. So everybody feels so at ease
Yes.
In different parts of the country, it's not the same. And because they don't have the influence as we do of having the embassies or having the you know the coming people from tech all over the world come to this area, so that has created a very diverse community
Yes.
that everybody's happy. Everybody's happy to be together, and they're so open-minded. So
It's kind of like
and to
everybody in the
try
world.
food.
Everybody in the world comes to DC.
Exactly,
And
and
it's
they're
just like
grateful.
everybody gets along, and it's wonderful. Why can't we
Yes.
do all that? Yes, that's fantastic. Now, just tell me a little bit about traffic or commuting, or how do people get to work around here? And do people complain about traffic, or what? Just a little bit about traffic. We don't really want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, if you live in the suburbs like we are,
Yes,
we know that we have to deal with the traffic no matter what.
yes, of
It's
course.
traffic all the time, right? But we prefer big areas, big backyards,
Right.
like
Yeah.
that, and be out of not close to the city. But when we have to go to the city, there is traffic.
You got to
right?
schedule your time, because it's like
Yeah.
here in Atlanta. If I want to go to Atlanta, I have to schedule when I go, because I don't want to be sitting in traffic. I try to go at off times. But
Yeah.
you also have a really good train system, which is really amazing too. And
Yes.
you have a lot of colleges around there too. So you have a lot of college vibe in there too,
The
right?
Metro Transit is phenomenal.
Right.
And how the buses feed into the metro perfectly. And also we have the beauty of having the VRE. And you can be in DC without having to drive, get on the VRE, and in 25 minutes, you're going to be in Union Station. So that's fantastic, especially if you're working Capitol Hill.
Yes, exactly. If you're running around and doing all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, commuting is going to be great. I found I've been to DC so many times in my life, and I love it, love it, love it. Have to come and visit you and hang out with you.
Yes, you have to come
But,
over.
I mean, I love it that
cook.
the commuting is easier. It's a big city, so it's easier to get along and get to where you need to get. If you need to take the train or you need to take a car, you know what you're dealing with at that point.
Yes.
So I love that it's actually easy to get around there, honestly, I think. What's the overall vibe of your city?
The overall vibe.
Vibe.
Yes, I think what I just said, it's the
culture. Yeah.
how diverse it is,
Yes.
that we are always celebrating some type of culture. So there are like parades for the Latinos, parades for there's always something.
There's always something going on, and it's for some different culture. I love that. I mean, so that's the vibe of DC. So if you guys are looking in Metro DC, I mean, the vibe is like everybody from all over the world is going to be welcome there. It's not a snobby city where only certain people live.
So if you are like hyper local, like the Arlington area, they have their own farmers market, their own celebrations or concerts. The same with Alexandria. So even though DC has a lot to offer, each small county or city does have their own way of celebrating, and it not necessarily has to be celebrating another culture. They just celebrate the cherry blossom. They celebrate the
and that's coming up in the next week or two, right?
So we all celebrate no matter what. There's always a celebration going on here.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about the climate, because like different you see the 4 seasons, how much snow you get. I mean, what would you say?
Okay. We come from a country where in the northern part that it's almost the same.
Yes.
It's deserted. It's not too cold. It's not too hot. Well, actually it's hot. But
it's hot. Yes, I know. I've been there.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's hot.
But it's very even. And when we arrived, we were just amazed about the changes in this area. how the leaves, because we arrived towards the end of the summer, how the
Okay.
leaves change and the colors. I mean, it's just fall.
And the trees and the green
That's
grass.
my favorite time of the
Yes.
year. I think a lot of people do not like the winter that much, but for us, I think it's mild. I mean,
Yeah.
after 35 years, but
Yes.
I think it's mild, and I I love to wear my boots and my jackets and everything.
Yes.
So just be able to change your wardrobe, it means a lot to me. I love that. So
Yeah, you have like outfits for each. There you go. That's why you need a big closet, right? That's why you need a big
Exactly.
closet in DC, because you have all the 4 seasons and you have the shoes and the outfits
Yes.
to match and stuff.
Yes, and towards the end of February, you can start looking at the little buds coming out. So
Yes.
the weather is starting to change, and then in the spring, there are so many different colors of trees. For in the fall, you saw like the deep reds and the oranges and all that. But in the springtime, some of them are white, others are light blue, pink. I mean, it's just glorious. It's beautiful. My least favorite time of the year, I think it's between spring and summer. It gets really hot and humid here.
Yes.
So that's why we try to go to the North Carolina to go to the beach.
Yes.
And it's not very easy to work when, like door knocking or something.
It's too hot. It's a little hot in the
It's
summer.
correct.
Yeah, it's a little hot here in Atlanta too. That's why they call it Hot Atlanta.
Yeah.
What is your Miguel? What's your favorite season in DC?
Oh my gosh. I think spring for me is just incredible.
Those cherry blossoms. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
it's
just
beautiful.
something about those cherry
Really,
blossoms.
Yeah, cherry blossom is just amazing how everybody from different parts of the country and the world came to
Yes.
DC just to see the cherry blossom.
Well,
is
that's definitely
really
on my list. I actually was in Japan last year to see the cherry blossoms. That was incredible. And then everyone's like, well, I mean, and the cherry blossoms here are really pretty too. But it's just like, okay, that's on my list. I got to go see DC during the cherry.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe next year I'll get it. I'll get there.
Well,
And
you know where you can come.
I know where to go. I know where I'm staying. There we go.
Hotel Garcia. It's not the Four Seasons, but we're close.
What do the two of you like to do outside of real estate?
Ooh, that's Miguel's. What do we like to
We
do?
don't do anything. We just together all the time.
You guys are all together all the time. So,
All the
this is a
time,
little
yeah.
hard question because you guys are together in business, in life. But,
Everything.
say.
We like to travel, I could
Yes,
say.
there you
We
go.
like to travel. I think that's one of and that's the only way we can get it, we can completely shut down and say, you know what, we're going to be focusing on each other. Because going to restaurants for us sometimes is like on the go.
Yes.
And yes, on a Saturday or or a Friday, we can go and enjoy all the amazing Michelin restaurants.
Yes.
But taking time off it's priceless. So
Yes.
I think one of the things that we enjoy the most is traveling.
I love that. Me too. I mean, you guys know I'm a huge traveler. But let me ask you one question here. What is your favorite travel destination or something on your bucket list that you want to see? I want to hear 2 different answers. So both of you need to
Okay,
answer.
so you go first, because then I.
Yes. Well, we were lucky to visit part of Europe. Okay. Already South America, of course. But we don't travel yet. Africa too. But Asia, we
haven't been.
We haven't been in Asia yet. So
Okay.
Japan is a must.
Yes.
Thailand because of the beaches. And I would like to go to China too, because friends that came from China said it is amazing. So that is the bucket.
Well, you got a lot of vacations planned right there, right? From
So what's your favorite that we've gone to?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's difficult.
Too many, right?
Yes. So my turn. We're different, definitely. So I'm not an outdoor person. Let me
Right.
put it that way. So he was always thinking about the beach and walking and da da da. Not me. I like to nice hotels and everything. So my favorite place, two favorite places,
Okay.
Paris and Istanbul.
Nice. Yeah.
I love those two places. I love the vibe, I mean that all the details of everything. And in my bucket list is St. Petersburg in Russia.
Oh, I've been
That's
there. It is breathtaking. It's just unbelievable.
that's for me my next trip. I thought you said
And
Portugal.
Portugal. I don't know. You guys are going everywhere. That's always good. So you have like plenty of like in your spare time or whenever you travel, and then of course you have 3 children, correct?
Yes,
And
yes.
do you have grandchildren?
We have six.
Six
Six
grandchildren.
grandkids.
So that really keeps you busy in in the empty nesting world, right? So you probably spend a lot of time and do things with your grandkids too, and make their life special and do special experiences with them, don't you?
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
that that's what life is all about. And I think really just having this conversation and people understanding you on how you take everybody, no matter where they're from, what culture, wherever they've come from, and you bring them in like your own family. And you
Oh,
give them these amazing experiences. So that's what I really love about you guys. And you're just so cute together. And you do like opposite things. So look at that. They can be married for 47, 48, 50 years, and they can get along and do like different things. I love that.
yeah.
So I do have one question for you. What was like the most rewarding real estate transaction you had? Tell us a story about that and why it was so rewarding.
I think the biggest the transaction that really that I broke ceiling that was the $6 million transaction and that we did because we do everything together and
Yes.
it's I do a part of the transaction and he does the other the paperwork and makes sure that we get to the finish line. But the most important thing about that one was that, first of all, in the beginning, I was kind of scared because I didn't know that I could do it. But then coming from this is for James Shaw,
Yes.
mindset. I said, you know what, I can do it. We're confident that we can do it. We are very professional in what we do,
Sure.
and we're gonna be successful. Well, I was so lucky to be able to negotiate for our client in a way that she was just beyond, right? She was so excited and she was like, "No, do you think they're gonna come down?" I'm like, it's all about negotiating, and I learned that with the power of negotiation, never underestimate yourself, and always think that it's a win-win situation for both of us, for the other side of the transaction, the other agent. And if you don't know something, don't be scared. That's what I discovered. Don't be
Yes.
scared. Ask
Ask
for
questions.
help.
Ask
Ask for help to the other agent and say, I'm bringing you the buyer. How can we work together? You teach me
Sure.
how, what would be the best way to do this. And so because they were coaching me in some ways, but I always had my client's best interest in my heart. And we got to a point that they, because it was a easy easy transaction.
Right.
The seller wanted to close in January, and the buyer wanted to close at the end of February because they travel, the world travelers and everything.
Right.
They're like, if they want, they've been on the market enough. If they want it, that it's going to happen. So I went back and I said, well, how can we make this work? And he's like, Absolutely not. If it's
Right.
not, if we're giving you this, we brought the price down, but they have to close at the end of the month.
Right.
So I went back to my client and I said, would you be open-minded?
That's Phil Jones there, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's Phil Jones in there. We're going to put a little shout out to Phil Jones
exactly.
Exactly what to say.
Exactly. So would you be open-minded to have this condo as one of your best memories for life? And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, how about your husband gives you as a gift for Valentine's Day the condo? And she was like, oh, I love that. I think that's, oh my God, I love it. And I'm going to wear red and everything. And so I went back to the listing agent and I said, would you be open-minded to ask the seller that they've been married for this much or for that long, and he wants to give her the condo as a gift for Valentine's Day. And so he went back and he was like, oh my God, that is the cutest thing ever.
I love that. Oh my God. So you're thinking outside the box, negotiating to get that. And what a great story to tell. I mean, this is an amazing
it worked out.
So let me ask one question. Let me ask you, how did you find this client?
It was through networking.
There you go. So you're big referral agents. You guys do I would say probably 99.9%, but is referral based. Like, this is how we all work. This is how we connect, network between other agents around the world and also people in the business world. And they saw you
in our circle of influence.
That's right, your circle of influence, and they saw how giving you guys are, because you really.
And it wasn't the first transaction. We had helped a family member already. And I think that was a test run.
Yes. Don't you love that? I love that. But you know what? They gave you an opportunity. And I always say in the real estate world, give me an opportunity. If I blow it, that's my own fault. You know what I mean? But give me an opportunity. And they saw how great you took care of that other transaction, that you were able to, that they gave you this huge transaction that, they bought the house on. So did you close on Valentine's Day?
Oh, yes, we did. And you
you closed on Valentine's Day.
We did.
Oh my
gosh. We closed on Valentine's Day. And then the settlement attorney said, oh my God, can you believe this is today's Valentine's Day? And the client said, of course, Jeannine worked it out so that he can give me this condo as a gift.
I love it. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Well, this is such a great way to end this conversation with you guys, because it really shows your true heart. You guys have great hearts. So I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on our podcast. Videos, everything. And I really enjoyed having this great conversation with you. And what I want to tell people is that if you're looking in the Metro DC area, whether it's DC, Maryland, or Northern Virginia, these are your people. I mean, you need to contact them and use them. And they are so diverse in culture, in the world, that they're just great referral partners. And I'm just so thankful that you are one of my great referral partners. And any other things that you want to add? I think we covered everything, right? Didn't we?
Well, I just want to add one more thing.
Sure.
Last month, Valentine's Day, I sent her a message from him about how beautiful she was and she is. And this will always be my gift to you, from me to you.
I love that. That's amazing.
She was like, I didn't think about this. I was like,
you don't have to get a Valentine's gift for the rest of your life.
And I said, it doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from us. It comes from you to her.
That's great. And that's what I love about you guys. You're so thoughtful. And I know that you think about a lot about your clients and you think about what they would like. And you really have that connection with them. And you're just both such great people. Well, Miguel's like all about the numbers and he does all the paperwork,
Yes.
but he's just very nice to be around. So
If I can add something for you, especially for you,
sure.
when you think that you will visit Washington in the near future, well,
Always. It's always on the
okay,
list.
right.
I'll
Next
tell
time you
them.
are in DC, we're welcome to our house. We will cook Peruvian food for you.
Oh, I love that. And my husband would love that so much, because
He's an amazing cook, by the way.
yes. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Chef.
That's awesome.
Chef.
Yes. And that I just adore that because I love to travel around the world and I just love to be with my friends and, all of my friends around the world that are in real estate, we all become like family. So you really become like our family. And I just really enjoy. So if you're looking in DC, Northern Virginia and Maryland, these are the people you need to contact. And if you do have any questions about the area, reach out to them. We'll put all that information in there for you. So thank you so much, you guys. It really was so much fun and I really enjoyed it. And you guys have a great day. Take care.
Bye.
One second.